Good day, my name is Franco Yabug. Today I want to know you the 7 programming paradigm. Number 1. Imperative programming are programming paradigm that focus on giving instruction or commands to the computer. Number 1 example. Procedural programming. This paradigm involves breaking down a program into a series of procedure or function. It emphasizes step-by-step instructions and the use of variables to manipulate data. Examples of procedural programming language include C, Pascal, and Fortran. Number 2 example, object-oriented programming or OOP is a paradigm that organizes code into objects which are instances of classes. It emphasizes the use of objects to represent real-world entities and their interaction. OOP languages such as Java, C++, and Python allow for the creation of objects with properties and methods to perform specific tasks. Number 2. Procedural programming is not a paradigm itself but rather an approach within the imperative paradigm. Imperative paradigm is a style of programming that focuses on giving instructions or commands to the computer. Procedural programming is a specific approach within the imperative paradigm that organizes code into the procedure or function. Number 1 sample. Structured programming. Structured programming is a paradigm that emphasizes the use of structured control flow contract such as loops and conditions to create well-organized and readable code. It promotes the use of procedure or function to break down a program into smaller manageable modules. Language like C, Pascal, and Ada follow the principles of structured programming. Number 2 examples. Modular programming is a paradigm that focuses on dividing a program into separate modules or units. It's responsible for a specific task. These modules can be developed independently and then combined to create the complete program. Procedural programming is often used within modular programming to define the behavior of its module. Languages like Fortran, COBOL, and Modula to support modular programming concept. The number 3, object-oriented programming, is a programming paradigm that focuses on organizing code into the object, which are instances of classes. Here are 2 examples of object-oriented programming language. Number 1 sample. Java. Java is a widely used object-oriented programming language. It allows programmers to define classes, which serve as blueprint for creating objects. Java supports encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism, which are key principles of object-oriented programming. It provides features like classes, object, inheritance, and interface to model real-world entities and their interaction. Number 2 example, Python. Python is another example of an object-oriented programming language. It supports the creation and manipulation of objects through classes. Python allows for the definition of classes, inheritance, and polymorphisms. It also provides features like encapsulation, data abstraction, and dynamic typing, making it a versatile language for object-oriented programming. Declarative programming is a programming paradigm that focuses on describing what needs to be achieved rather than how to achieve it. Here are the 2 examples of declarative programming. Number 1 example, functional programming function. Programming is a declarative paradigm that treats computation as the evaluation of mathematical function. It emphasizes immutability and avoid changing state and manipulate data. Languages like Haskell, Lisp, and Erlang are examples of functional programming language. Number 2 example, logic programming. Logic programming is another declarative paradigm that focuses on defining relationships and rules rather than explicit instruction. Programs are written in terms of logical statements and queries. Prolog is a well-known logic programming language that uses a set of rules, and facts to derive logic construction. Then number 5, functional programming is a programming paradigm that treats computation as the evaluation of mathematical function and avoid changing state and mutable data. Here are 2 examples of functional programming language. Number 1, Haskell. Haskell is a purely functional programming language that is known for its strong static typing and lazy evaluation. It emphasizes immutability and the use of higher order function which can take another function as argument or return function as result. Haskell also supports pattern matching and recursion as fundamental concept. Number 2, Lisp. Lisp is one of the functional programming language. It is also known for its homogeneity, which means that code and data are represented in the same format. Lisp supports dynamic typing, recursion, and higher order function. It also provides powerful features like macros, which allow for the code transformation and metaprogram. Number 6, the logic programming is a programming paradigm that focuses on using logic, rules, and facts to solve problems. Here are 2 examples of logic programming language. Number 1, Prolog. Prolog is a widely used logic programming language. It allows programming to define logical rules and facts, and then create the program to find solution based on those rules. Prolog uses a declarative approach, where the programmer specifies what needs to be achieved rather than how to achieve it. It's often used in areas such as artificial intelligence and natural language processing. And number 2 example, Datalog. Datalog is a subject of the Prolog language and is specially designed for database, query, and rules-based programming. It is used to express and query deductive database. Datalog program consists of rules and conduct and deductive database. The local program is rules of facts and queries are posed to the program to retrieve information based on the defined rules. Number 7. Mathematical paradigms refer to different approaches or framework used in a mathematical to study and solve problems. Here are the 2 examples of mathematical paradigms. Number 1, algebraic paradigm. Algebraic paradigm focuses on the study to array structure and their properties. It involves the use of symbols, variables, and operations to represent and manipulate mathematical objects. Algebraic paradigms include various branches such as linear algebra, abstract algebra, and geometry. This paradigm provides a framework for solving equations, studying patterns, and understanding the properties of mathematical structure. Number 2 example, geometric paradigm. Geometric paradigm emphasizes the study of shapes, figures, and their properties. It involves the use of visual representation, diagram, and spatial relationship to understand and solve mathematical problems. Geometric paradigm include branches such as Euclidean geometry, analytic geometry, and differential geometry. These paradigms include the framework for studying angles, distance, shapes, and transformation in a mathematical shape. That's all, and thank you.